morning and welcome to week 2. Here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about biogeography and a review of the basics that I would have talked about on Friday and set you up for what we're going to talk about the rest of the week and what we're going to talk about on Friday. So let's get started. So, as in that document that you would have read last week, the biogeography overview, we're going to pick up on that, and if I can get this to advance. There we go. What you would have read there was about the age of exploration and about all of the ideas that contributed to people studying and developing this science. So until the mid-18th century, so we're talking about the 1750s here, the prevailing understanding of the earth, of animals, of plants, of land masses, of climate was that it was unchanging. And this was shaped by the Bible and Bible doctrine. However, and when we think about prevailing understandings, what we're really talking about are paradigms. And the predominant laws or theories to which a scientific community adheres to and works under is really what we're talking about in here. Basically, 250 years later or 200 years later, Kuhn came up with this word, paradigm, and this way of looking at things, paradigm. And his definition was universally recognized scientific achievements that for a time provide a model or a solution to problems that a community of practitioners is undertaking, so particularly in sciences. Now, a couple of the key words that are in here are laws. And laws really are descriptions of observations. Whereas theories are explanations. So, for example, if you think about Newton's law of gravity, things fall and he doesn't explain why gravity exists. It just is an observation of what's going on. It doesn't talk about how or why it works. It just says that this is what's going on. Whereas a theory is an explanation of why something is going on. So within paradigms, we have both laws and theories that are developing there. And when you get enough anomalies that don't fit into that paradigm, that don't fit those laws, that question the theories, we have something that's called a paradigm shift. And that's when we start to transfer or move into another way of looking at the world. And that's this paradigm shift is really what a scientific revolution is. So that's what Kuhn was getting at in his 1970s work. So what were some of the things that were causing that paradigm shift from this prevailing view of the Bible and the doctrine that's in there that everything is static and everything is the way that God made it, was some of things like the bringing back of specimens by these naturalists at the time, as what they were called. And so I'm going to leave you with the duck-billed platypus here and let this next woman explain a bit more about that to you, and then we'll carry on from there.
Hi, I'm Danielle Dufault, and you're watching Animal Logic. Psyduck might have had hydro pump, water gun, and an everlasting look of confusion, but the animal that it's based on is actually way cooler. Consider the platypus. It looks like a science experiment gone horribly wrong, like someone put a beaver and a duck in a transmogrification chamber. In fact, the first time scientists saw a platypus specimen, they thought it was a crude joke being played on them by someone who had stitched bits and pieces of dead animals together. It's not hard to see why. Platypuses are completely weird. They are monotremes, which means they are mammals that lay eggs. Yes, one of the defining features of us mammals is that we give live birth to our young. Even those crazy marsupials, the not quite mammals that we talked about a few weeks ago, give birth to live babies, not monotremes. The eggs come out of their cloaca, just like birds, and they have webbed feet and a bill, just like birds. And they walk on land with their legs on the side of their bodies, just like freaking reptiles. But they produce milk, have hair, and a neocortex in their brain, just like mammals. Platypuses are usually seen in the water. They dig elaborate burrows near the water's edge and forage aquatically, searching for insects, larvae, crayfish, whatever, along the bottom. But not like birds do. Oh no, that would be far too normal for the platypus. When they are underwater, they actually close their eyes and ears and use echolocation to find food. This awesome superpower relies on electroreceptors in their bill to pick up electrical signals from their prey. Once they catch that prey, they hold it in their cheek pouches and grind it up using bits of gravel that they ingest. That's because, wait for it, they have no teeth. Of course they don't. But they also have no nipples. They're mammals and produce milk, but they have no nipples. Instead, they sort of sweat out their milk, which accumulates on the mother's abdomen so the babies can lick it up. Oh, we're not done yet. The females do the milk sweating thing, but the males have something special of their own. They have sharp spurs, like backward-facing claws, on their hind feet that are, wait for it, venomous. Yes, if you piss off a male platypus, you are in for a world of hurt. Literally. Their venom won't kill you, but the pain has been described as excruciating and can last for months. As an added bonus, the pain doesn't respond to morphine. What fun! So how did these bizarre animals evolve? Turns out that Australia was full of monotremes way back in the day. Platypus-like animals have been identified in the fossil record over 61 million years ago. Recently, a fossil was discovered in Australia revealing a giant platypus that was twice the size of our current platypus. So, like, yay big? Giant. When those upstart marsupials invaded Australia, they pushed the monotremes out. The ones that survived took to the water, where marsupials couldn't go. And they are still there today, in all their confusing glory. Oh, and by the way, the plural of platypus is platypuses, not platypi. Now go, annoy your friends. What animals should I check out next? Please let me know in the comments, as per usual, and be sure to subscribe for new episodes of Animal Logic every week. Thanks for watching!
Okay, I'm not quite as excited about the platypus as Danielle is. I mean, who could be? But that's a pretty freaking cool animal. And talk about diversity. And some of the other concepts that were in that little video clip talking about how there had been a lot of these monotremes on the island of Australia, and that at one point they were pushed out or outcompeted by the marsupials, except for the platypus that could be in the water where the marsupials didn't go. And so those are a couple of the things that we'll touch on either later in the course or later in this lecture. So I'm going to end the micro lecture here and stay tuned for that part 2.